Hi there, welcome to Sumit Academy. You are here because you desire to learn or maybe are curious about certain topics and terms. Well, that's exactly what my channel is all about. So do subscribe now so that you do not miss out on any video which may interest you. In this video, we shall talk about the concept and implementation of Panchayati Raj in India. Though Gandhiji had an idyllic and romantic view of the village as the cornerstone of polity and economy, the modernizers in the Constituent Assembly, led by Dr. Ambedkar and Prashant Chandra Mahalanobis, looked towards rapid industrialization of India. They won the day against introducing Panchayati Raj in free India. As a concession to Gandhiites, they agreed to include the concept under Article 40 of the Directive Principles of State Policy. Now, this enjoins the state to take steps to organize village panchayats and endow them with such powers and authority as may be necessary to enable them to function as units of self-governance. In other words, it was not compulsory for states to implement the Panchayati Raj system. So how did it make a comeback? Panchayats were first established in 1957 in response to the realization that community development programs introduced in 1952 were not being implemented. However, the Nehru government saw it only as a means to mobilize villagers for development programs initiated by the government, and sadly not as units of local self-governance. Another hurdle to Panchayati Raj was that the government developed and strengthened the administrative system, leading to conflicts between panchayats, bureaucracy, and local political leadership. The bureaucracy felt that panchayats were encumbrances to be tolerated for implementing development programs, while local leadership felt their power and privileges being usurped. As a result, panchayats went into decline in the 1960s and were non-effective for the next 3 decades. It was only in 1993 that the Panchayati Raj was mandated by the 73rd Amendment. But again, it was left to the states to decide which subjects listed in the 11th schedule would devolve to the Panchayats. You see, this 11th schedule is a very important one, for it contains 29 subjects that states can devolve, and I repeat, can devolve to panchayats, like rural development, poverty alleviation, market, roads, and drinking water. However, most states did not devolve much powers, and these institutions of local self-governance still continue to suffer from neglect to this day. In fact, many areas of bureaucratic domain like land acquisition, forest management, and watershed development are in conflict with powers of the panchayats. Even central government schemes overlap panchayat functions due to separate budgets and implementing agencies, and demand only support from the panchayats. In Mahatma Gandhi's vision of the country's future, India was seen as a highly decentralized polity with extensive political and economic and autonomy to the villages. The problem was that Gandhiji's Panchayats offered an entirely new pattern of structuring the Indian economy and polity. And as you can imagine, this did not fit in the framework of the representative system of parliamentary government and the strategy of economic development associated with it. In the quest for efficiency and good management, more often than not, panchayats are seen as obstacles to bureaucratic strategies. As a consequence, panchayats were sidelined in the development effort. The 73rd Constitutional Amendment envisages the Gram Sabha as the critical unit of the Panchayati Raj system. This is the forum where villagers deliberate on their problems face to face and give their demands to the Gram Panchayat, the executive body, for further action. The Gram Panchayat, consisting of 10 to 15 members, are directly elected by the Gram Sabhas and are construed as the agency not only of empowerment but of accountability. They were mandated to approve all plans and programs of social and economic development, audit the panchayat accounts, and select beneficiaries for all types of programs. However, little effort has been made to strengthen them with functional powers. Instead, they have become more and more the instruments of implementing the central schemes, commanding little resources of their own. Secondly, with no restrictions on political parties to mobilize support along their ideological persuasions, panchayat elections, now being held regularly, have come to be seen as a significant method of measuring the strength of their local support base. In other words, the panchayats still do not have any administrative autonomy. To complicate matters, institutions of local governance are not confined to the formal panchayat system. Now here comes the interesting part. Informal institutions based on caste continue to exist in most parts of the country. In the villages of Rajasthan, Punjab, Madhya Pradesh, Haryana, and Western Uttar Pradesh, where most of the Jats live, caste panchayats are known by their more familiar name of, yes, Khap panchayats. A unit of Khap takes care of the social affairs of the people of the same caste from several villages. They are thus self-proclaimed arrangements of caste leaders. And you must remember them. They are not official organizations. But they enjoy legitimacy and authority among sections of their own caste. They are very old social institutions and seem to have appeared in the 13th and 14th centuries. Even the British colonial administration incorporated them in its own revenue system. These Khap panchayats have been known to enforce oppressive measures against women and Dalits when they transgress the norms of their traditional social behavior. It seems quite probable that Dr. Ambedkar had the oppression of such Khap panchayats in mind when he so vehemently commented against the views that the Gandhians were articulating about village life. You see, the Gandhians were advocating panchayats, while Dr. Ambedkar and people like him who had suffered their earlier years in the villages had images of the dreaded Khap Panchayats in front of them. The government is now considering ways to restrict the usage of the term Panchayats only to those institutions that are mandated by the Constitution. In conclusion, we may say that despite all the shortcomings and handicaps, the 73rd Amendment has provided for the devolution of development functions to an institutional framework at the local level. This may be the precursor to a three-tier federal system. This constitutionally mandated decentralization to democratic bodies may not be easy to erode in the future, and it has been described as the most revolutionary investment in the democratic development of the country. Well, that's all from me in this video. Hope it will be useful for you when you sit down to answer questions on the topic. Do subscribe to my channel now so that you don't miss out on my past or future videos. And in case you want to get in touch with me, do drop in a line to sumitacademy20@gmail.com. Till later then, cheers.